Well, hello again. I'm Hassan Darmawi. I'm co-organizer of this wonderful conference. We'll have 5 more talks in the second part of the second session. And we'll start with Bonnie Thurber. It's nice actually to welcome Bonnie Thurber. She'll be talking about comparison and contrast of the result of 2 Uganda COVID workshops with similar content, different tools and funding. Bonnie, can you share your slides? Do you hear me, Bonnie? You are muted, Bonnie.
Sorry, I went to get myself something to eat, and so I'm munching away on a snack. I will be, am I next?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I will be playing a YouTube video.
Okay, great.
So let me share my screen and know that about halfway through this slideshow, I will be playing a YouTube video. Let's see, close this. Share screen. And does that look okay?
Yes, it's okay. We see it. Good.
And you can hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, is the video, the stuff for video and sound turned on? Let me just do a check here. So if I click on this, and then I click on this.
Over the last 30 years, Global Hands-On Universe has helped tens of thousands of educators teach astronomy to over 1 million students worldwide. Last year, Global Hands-On Universe, working with the Ugandan Ministry of Sports and Education, held a series of...
Stop. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, go ahead, Bonnie.
Okay. So,
you, Bonnie, and said about the title.
Okay, so my talk today is to compare and contrast 2 Uganda astronomy COVID workshops with similar content, different tools and funding. Originally, we had planned on doing these workshops with a real person and with the funding spent on transportation and food for the Uganda teachers. However, this is a map of Uganda. And if you notice,
Bonnie, we don't see the slides. Can you share and share again?
Are they not, can you not see them?
No. Yeah, share again. Stop sharing and share again. Your camera is also off.
Okay. Now I also need to turn my camera on. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Great.
Now.
Yeah. Can you put it full screen?
Yes.
Wait, that's the wrong, Bonnie, not share on Google Docs, share on Zoom.
Can you see it now, Hassan?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, okay.
Okay, thank you. So I have really had the privilege and honor to work with Carl and Kale Santos in Uganda. We have probably worked on this for 4 years, and we put together a series of workshops for Uganda physics teachers who are trainers and who are also teachers in the schools for grades 10, 11. And what they have, and I'll go through this now. So I'm going to tell you about the contrast of, compare and contrast the results of 2 Uganda astronomy COVID workshops with similar content, different tools and funding. I will also say that Santus Pele from the NCDC will be doing a keynote at the end of this conference, and I encourage you all to come and see what he has said as well. This is just some general info. Uganda is located between the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Sudan, Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda. The equator goes through the country right. Entebbe is actually where the airport is, but it goes right under Kampala. So the weather and also looking at the moon, different things are much different than living in the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere. Living on the equator, I've actually changed a number of things I do so that I've included North America, South America, and the equator. So now I'm going to just talk about the things listed here. The locations, the first workshop was in Kampala. The teachers, it included 18 teachers from the city of Kampala and around Kampala. The second workshop included 36 teachers now we have in various areas of Kampala. They, at both times, everything was closed for COVID. So all the surveys and things that we did were done online. The whole process, the whole course is done online. I thought, gee, I wonder if the people who live just in Kampala have more time to communicate with each other than the people who live all over the country. But I'm finding out that they use WhatsApp a lot and Zoom, so I'm not even sure about that. The workshops, and I'm calling this a course now because it is 9 sessions long, and it's made of individual workshops, and my dog snuck in my room. I apologize for that. So both groups met for 14 sessions. Both groups have presentations and interactive sessions. Both groups had COVID lockdowns. The first group met on Saturday mornings once a week from 9 a.m. to noon or 1 o'clock with a 30 or 45-minute break. The second group met 3 afternoons a week on weekdays for 14 sessions for 2.5 hours each with a 10-minute break. And you can see some of the people in the group. This is Santus Kale, who you'll meet later this week. About funding, well, for the first group, the 14 sessions that met weekly, we had $5,000 from IAU OAD. And this was very, very good because we thought, okay, we had plans to pay for teachers being bused to a central location, for teachers to have a meal together. And because of COVID, that didn't work out. So instead, we used the funding to pay for Samsung tablets and accessories and some data for the group. For the second course, we received for about $500 from a GoFundMe, which paid for data for the participants and some limited funding for the facilitators. I'm going to play a part of our GoFundMe, and you are welcome to join this GoFundMe because we would still like to have money contributed.
Over the last 30 years, Global Hands-On Universe has helped tens of thousands of educators teach astronomy to over 1 million students worldwide. Last year, Global Hands-On Universe, working with the Ugandan Ministry of Sports and Education, held a series of online workshops for teachers in Kampala, the capital city located near the shores of Lake Victoria. The workshops received rave reviews, and the graduates have continued to work together ever since, learning more and more on their own. This summer, we plan the launch of Uganda Stars 2021, reaching even more educators from across Uganda. Uganda Stars 2021 will bring together 40 Ugandan educators, including graduates of last year's workshops. These educators will get hands-on experience using modern image processing technology, vast astronomy databases, and robotic telescope networks. This knowledge will be shared with their students and other teachers when they return to the classroom in the fall. The goal is for the teachers to lead future workshops.
Okay, so that's just part of the GoFundMe. Now let me get back to my slideshow. I hope you will all share. I'm sharing. Okay, full screen. I hope you will all go have a look at the GoFundMe and perhaps do some funding for us, send us some money, because the group of teachers we're working with now would really like money for their data. Now, about the curriculum for this, luckily Uganda's NCDC has very forward-thinking leaders. While we were working with them and we were working on the grant, they actually came up with standards. And through the guidance of Calais Santos and Carl Pennypacker, it was much easier to plan the course and the workshops. This is sort of what we ended up with. So group one, the group that met once a week, were all loaned a Samsung tablet. They received some data, though never enough, to contact the internet. Many have also had smartphones, laptops, desktop computers as well. Group one workshop participants mostly used tablets. In group two, they scrounged around for tablets, smartphones, or various computers. And I would say group two is mostly participating using smartphones. So it's an interesting way to think of. I've been trying to get lots of astronomy tools and lots of people to work using smartphones, because I think they are the future. Maybe tablets are the future. But at any rate, the main problem with the course seems to be data. They all need money for data and internet speed. Right now, the city in Uganda is locked down so that people must stay home unless they have to get groceries, or they can also go to internet cafes. But if you look at this chart, the different things they own, they actually have quite a few computers between them. Some people only have a smartphone. Some people only have a tablet. And one person actually had to borrow a smartphone so she or he could take the course. I don't know who that person is, but I found that very interesting that she's taking the course on a borrowed smartphone. As we go on, the pre-course survey results. Now I have the final results for the first group, but not for the second group. So I just did this with pre-course. This is their IT. Rate your comfort level using a cellular or mobile phone. Rate your comfort level using a smartphone. Rate your comfort level using a tablet. Group two actually is more comfortable. And that might be because they're in separated areas. This is the astronomy results for the pre-course. And actually, if you look at these, would you feel more comfortable drawing a building to scale size model? Well, this is drawing the solar system. This one is making a drawing of positions of the Earth, Moon, Sun during a total eclipse, during a lunar eclipse. This also, they had a higher, and this may very well be because they are in the country rather than living in a city? I'm not sure. I guess I should ask them. So the rest of this graph, as we go along, how comfortable do you feel teaching your students that many other stars have rocky planets, intelligent life, and other planets may well exist? How would we know? So the next several questions, really, this is 56%, this is 51%. So this line says 60%. And they were pretty much level. The second group is higher, actually. And would you feel comfortable explaining to your students the history of the universe? How could we measure this? And then this one, how comfortable would you be teaching your class how a star works, how the sun works, and how life depends on the sun? Is very close. So I found the two pre-course surveys extremely interesting. We'll be getting the results from the post-course survey actually on Wednesday. So maybe Santos will talk about that. I put in the middle of this, these are various people in the class. Niraj, who is one of my top trainers from Nepal, and since his time zone is 2 hours later, or no, it's 4 hours later than Uganda, he finishes school and then teaches this course before he goes home. So it worked out pretty well for him as far as being able to move through the course. Also, Uganda and Nepal have some things in common as far as electricity and network connections. So there's an understanding level of what people do have and what they don't have that I think many of us in the Western world have no idea about.
Bonnie, we have only time for questions, 3 minutes left.
Okay, so be sure to join us for Santos Calais talk on Friday, 1745 UTC. He is a keynote speaker, and he will be speaking in much more detail about this. Now I will say, any questions?
Thank you, Bonnie, for this nice initiative in Uganda. I know that you've been doing a lot in Nepal and now to Uganda. It's great actually to bring astronomy close to Africa. Any questions from the audience, from the people on the panelists? Yeah, go ahead, Carl.
Sorry. Hey, Bonnie, that was fantastic. Good job. You've done an amazing job with this. Thank you. Hey, did you want to mention how the other teachers are co-leading the workshops too? Did you say that, or I might have missed that?
No, I think I had a bullet point about that, but I didn't say it. So Santos is a very forward thinker, and I really like what he's doing. The teachers in the first group now are helping mentor the teachers in the second group. So the teachers in the first group, we just started teaching the workshops, and they are all physics teachers, so they picked up things quite well, quite fast. So now their job is to be mentoring the teachers in the second group. So I'm not sure how many extra weeks, how many extra sessions the teachers in the second group have being mentored by the teachers in the first group. But I think it's a great idea. I also have at least one teacher, sometimes 3 or 4, sometimes 5 teachers that were in the first group who are attending the second group. Some of them have been attending all of the classes. Others have just been there sporadically as their time allows. But I'm very, very excited that the first group is talking to the second group, and they're helping each other learn that way.
Well, we have 1 minute for one more question. Comments?
Go ahead.
Is there any question? Yeah, Carl. Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize. Hey, just a note, great work again, Bonnie. This is seems like a very exemplary case where GHOU has elevated itself to the Ministry of Education level. We often want to support our ministries and stuff, but to get to this high has been quite an achievement. So thank you, Bonnie.
You're welcome, Carl, and thank you, and also thanks, Santos. I think that we have hit it off on a great partnership.
Many thanks, Bonnie. So would you please stop sharing?